Look, I just want to get this review out there, so let me just use this video game footage, okay? Okay. In regards to criticism on the comics medium and the superhero genre especially, Italian author and philosopher Umberto Eco is a notable example. In his lofty career in media studies, he brought up that comic book characters largely never move forward in time, and that events that would move a character in time, like deaths, births, weddings, etc., were often placed in imaginary stories disguised as a dream or a alternate reality in order to keep continuity with the book and be able to keep printing stories with marketable characters. I bring this up not only because it makes me sound smart in talking about the comic book medium, but I can't help but think of that kind of idea when thinking about the new Wolverine film, Logan, an X-Men story that sort of serves as a alternate what-if future for several characters, but also Hugh Jackman's nearly 20-year run as the mutant of the same name. Taking place in a corrupt America in 2029, the film chronicles Jackman's Logan, the former X-Man who works as a limo driver near the United States-Mexican border, as he protects a frail and barely sane Charles Xavier, again portrayed by Patrick Stewart, and a mysterious young mutant by the name of Laura, played by Daphne Keane, as they travel up to Canada in order to reunite with a new generation of mutants fostered by a repugnant genetics company. All the while, they try to escape from the clutches of Donald Pierce, played by Boyd Holbrook, as a security agent for the company that is under command to kill the children in question. Plus, he has a robotic arm. Neato. First off, the film is great. It is earnestly great. I dug it a lot. It's action-packed, yet knows when to take its time. It doesn't feel cheap compared to other Marvel films made by Fox, and its explicit content feels appropriate, save for one or two instances. This is probably the most a superhero film has ever felt like an American Western, in that while you get a lot of the American scenery in this film, you also get welcome and fresh retreads of different types of tropes and scenes in that sort of genre of movie making. One can make connections to The Searchers, The Wild Bunch, and even any Mad Max sequel really to see some overall plot beats and themes. It feels like the filmmakers wanted to throw us in a new frontier of a very plausible America that most people can foresee in the next decade. The America portrayed in Logan is plagued with various problems in politics, ecological industries, and the fact that an entire race of people, the mutants, is gone. Even though it deals with a completely different character, I think fans who wanted more of the smarter things from Dark Knight Returns and Dark Knight Rises and Batman v Superman will get what they want here, as the conflicting scale is considerably smaller, but way more intensified in the investment and personal rhetoric. It's also worth mentioning that the original writer of the comic that the film is based on, Mark Millar, is known to be very critical about American subject matter like fundamental Christianity, capitalism, and gun rights, both in and outside of a comic book panel. While he may be very vocal about these issues in his works, they are considerably downplayed in this adaptation. Oh, don't believe me? Remember that scene in Kingsman where Colin Firth kills a bunch of radical Christians that spouted racist, xenophobic, and homophobic things in just a few minutes before he massacred them? Actually, does that happen in Bible Belt churches? I just imagine that when you have a pastor yelling crazy stuff, you have a few people yelling that they agree with him and everyone else sitting in silence wondering, Jesus Christ, why'd I come into church today? While that stuff is the background of this story, the characters are especially at the forefront, and their tale is what we are here for. Hugh Jackman can probably play this role in his sleep by now. Patrick Stewart is emotionally heartfelt, playing Professor X as an intellectual humanist man who is dealing with his final years and what power he possesses in harming the people around him, but perhaps foolishly disregarding that in helping X-23. Newcomer Dean is especially great as a mini Wolvie, adequately conveying the emotions of a confused, resistive 10-year-old girl with very little English, a life in a science lab, and homicidal tendencies. Watch out! Geez, I really have no problem with the cast. Jackman and Stewart give a considerable amount of effort in their final roles as these characters. It's also worth noting that this film is very violent, with many pierces through the human body, a lot of blood everywhere, and a few decapitations featured in the film. It really doesn't bother me, heck, considering the type of film they were going for, they could have made it more explicit. But if that doesn't seem like a productive time for you, then sitting this one out is fine. However, I would love for people to see this film, as everyone behind the scenes really wanted to do this type of story and the characters justice. Some of the movie isn't fun, but I feel like I was given something that the creator really wanted to share with me when he figured out that he had the brains and the talent to do whatever he wants and make something great. Also, you get a Deadpool 2 teaser at the beginning of the film, so have fun, kids. Logan is the best Wolverine movie yet and easily in the top 5 of the current X-Men film series canon, but also in its goal to tell a Dark Knight Returns story on the big screen, it is filled with little filmmaking details and choices that I think will have people, scholars and comic fans alike, talking about the movie and its message for a long while. Go see Logan. I'm MaximumAustin, and until next time, keep being confident and you enjoy your day. Excelsior.